Okay, this video is a simple example of a chord note mapped phrase, and I found this nifty phrase on a website called Music Theory. Let's see if I can. Music Theory Academy. If you Google that, Music Theory Academy, using the first inversion, you'll find this phrase, and they actually have audio so you can play it. They've got a little drum beat behind it. But this is all credit to them. So, what they wanted to illustrate was how to move from. Well, they wanted to illustrate one useful aspect of using chord inversions. And in this particular case, they wanted to illustrate how you could use a simple first inversion of one chord to move smoothly to the 4 chord. So your movement is 1 to 4, or in C major, C to F, and by using the first inversion of the C chord, you could move a little bit more smoothly from C to F. So I fired up Studio One because it displays the notes nicely and gives you the note names, and also they have an option where you can all the notes of the same pitch will be in the same color. So we're in C major, and all the C notes, as you can see, are this kind of orange color. The E is in green, the G is in blue, and we have an A up there, and the F in kind of a light brown. Okay, so let's dive into this phrase and see how we're going to use Rapid Composer to do something I think is kind of powerful here. Okay, well, first let's listen to it. Okay. All right, so what we've got here is our C major chord, and you can see the notes, they're labeled C, C, E, and G. Okay, so we've got it basic C major triad, and what they've done here in this example is they've doubled the root, or you have the root here at C3, and they've added a C, another C at C2, and one at C1. So it's voiced. You get this wide voicing with the C1 and C2 in the bass. Okay, and then so then they go to a 4 chord. They have this C inversion. So you have C major in first inversion. You'd have E in the bass. So here's our E, and they've doubled this again, and they keep the C and the G up here, and they just remove the G from C3 because they've doubled it down here. Okay, so we're moving from, let me see if I can highlight it. We're moving from C root position to C first inversion, E in the bass, and then to F, okay, which is here, and we see F, F, C, A. FAC. So we got F major triad, and we're moving from our C chord to our F chord, our 1 to 4, and this first inversion of C allows us to move smoothly, as you can see, from the 1 to the 4 chord. Okay? Alright. So, looking at this, I recognized, and I hope you'll recognize, that all the notes in this, we've got a 2-bar phrase here, right? All the notes here, with the exception of these G's, these 3 G's, all the notes here are right out of the 2 chords of C, C, E, G, and F, FAC. Okay, and you can see pretty clearly that these 3 G's are just passing notes, passing tones, to allow you to go to form a little bridge, musical bridge between the A and the F. Okay, so that's our phrase. I mean, there's our musical analysis. Nothing too complicated at all. I'll show you this in standard notation. Nice thing about Studio One 5 is they have this option, and so far it looks like it does an awfully good transcription to standard notation. I've seen some other programs, in years past, programs like Cubase and Cakewalk had this ability, but when it actually came to transcribing a MIDI section into standard notation, it was pretty rough. It didn't look too good. You had a lot of weird stuff going on there, let's put it that way. So anyway, I'll play the phrase one more time so you can see it being played and watch the standard notation. Now, one of the things about standard notation is that it really kind of allows you to see what's going on musically in a more, I would say, a clearer, more vivid view. Because here we can see we've got the C, okay, and here we've got the E, and here we've got the F. So you can see that these are all octaves, okay? C, C, E, E, F, F. And you can see that you can see how the music moves, that you're moving up by a third from the C to an E. You can see because we can see the scale written out here, we can see we're moving up by a third here, and then we can see the smooth movement by a step from the from the E to the F, okay, which is a half step. But you can see the smooth movement there. So yeah, so that's, I think, a lot of times looking at music with standard notation, it's easier to kind of analyze it because it's written out on a staff, and you have, you can have sharps and flats, and you kind of avoid the whole business of like the piano roll, which is indifferent to the actual scale. Although in most programs now, most DAWs, you can set the scale over here. But anyway, let's not get into that. Okay, so this is our phrase, and in the next video I'm going to show you how we go from this into Rapid Composer and what we can, what we can do with this, and why we'd even want to bother translating this or transcribing it into Rapid Composer. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.